Mom!
So Rory's first day at Chilton is off to a great start.
I thought you were up. It's 7:10.
I set the clock for 5:45, so it's 7:10.
I can't be late on my first day of school. You know what happens to people when they're late on their first day?
Shorter?
For the rest of the year, they're labeled the late girl.
Oh, so dramatic.
Not only are they running late, but also...
Oh my God. My clothes.
What?
I don't have any clean clothes.
It's 7:17.
Okay, you know what, time lady? Why don't you go downstairs and warm up the car?
It's 7:18.
Oh, for the love of God!
which results in Lorelai having to wear this.
What? Nothing. I just didn't know the rodeo was in town.
Not exactly the most appropriate thing to wear, but it gives us some iconic shots for the opening credits.
All right, that's it. I'm bringing the baby pictures.
No! I'm sorry. I love the rodeo. The rodeo rules.
They soon arrive at the school, which is going to be a major part of the show for the next couple of seasons.
I remember it being smaller. What are you looking at?
I'm just trying to see if there's a hunchback up in that bell tower.
On the bright side for Lorelai, at least her job is done now. She only has to drop Rory off, right?
You have to go in with me.
Rory, come on.
You have to meet the headmaster.
Well, look at me. I can't meet anybody who does anything in there. I look like that chick from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Well, this just gets better and better.
Good morning.
As the two of them make their way to the headmaster's office, we learn an interesting detail.
I'm Lorelai Gilmore. This is my daughter, Lorelai Gilmore. He named her after me. I was in the hospital, whacked out on Demerol. The headmaster here?
At least Lorelai's day can't get any worse.
I'm Headmaster Charleston.
Hi. Wow. It's really nice to meet Mom.
It's starting to turn into a nightmare.
What are you doing here?
I came to wish my granddaughter luck on her first day of school.
Well, would you like to take off your coat and have a seat?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Lorelai, take off your coat and sit down. You don't want Hanlon to think you're rude.
Laundry day.
There is some good news for Lorelai, though, as her current predicament gets some positive attention from another parent.
Your daughter? Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's great. Daughters are a great thing.
We're big fans.
So, is your husband here? I'd love to meet him.
I'm not married.
Ah,
I'd love to meet your wife, though.
I'm divorced.
Shame.
Yeah.
What a nice man.
You're feeling pretty good about yourself right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you want me to get you a mirror?
I'm back. Let's go.
Once Lorelai and Emily leave, we follow Rory as she tries to integrate and settle herself into this new school. During her meeting with Headmaster Charleston, we learn that not only does Rory have aspirations to become a journalist, but he also makes it quite clear to her that his relationship with her grandparents will in no way benefit her.
Chilton has one of the highest academic standards of any school in America. You may have been the smartest girl at Stars Hollow, but this is a different place. The pressures are greater, the rules are stricter, and the expectations are higher.
It's at this point we're introduced to some new characters, Paris, Madeline and Louise, who gain access to Rory's file in order to assess this newcomer to their school.
Lorelai Gilmore,
Nice stripper name.
formerly of Stars Hollow High School.
Where's that?
Drive west, make a left at the haystacks, and follow the cows.
Ooh, a Dixie chick.
The most significant, Paris Geller, played by Lisa Well, is our bully character, which you normally see in shows set in a school. However, instead of going for the typical, popular, not very bright bimbo character, I guess, though technically Louise covers this role.
Why are they letting all these extra people in? They just take up space and screw up the curve. We don't need any new kids here.
Paris is presented as Rory's intellectual equal, and as we'll see in later episodes, not particularly popular herself. It's interesting to go back to these earlier episodes and see when Paris was portrayed as an antagonist, as over time Rory and her do eventually become friends. Some fans even argue she's the one Rory should have ended up with, which is an interesting idea. I'll let you decide that as we go through each episode and you see their evolving relationship. Madeline is both the nice one of this group, being the one who gets on and is usually friendly with Rory despite the other two. And she's also the dumb one.
You don't know she's going out for paper.
Oh, something's biting me.
Quiet down.
Hate nature.
Sunny.
Okay, lizard, goodbye.
When Paris and Rory first meet, it's made clear that Paris does not like Rory at all.
Are you going out for the Franklin? The what? Nice innocent act. At least I know you're not going out for drama club. I'm confused. School paper. Are you going out for it? I don't know. I have to find my locker first. I'm going to be editor next year. Well, good for you. You'll never catch up. You'll never beat me. The school is my domain, and the Franklin is my domain. And don't you ever forget that. Guess you're not going to let me borrow your notes, huh?
If you're looking for a reasonable explanation for this at this point, there isn't one. Basically, Paris is a very socially awkward character who chooses to push people away due to her own personal fears. Another one of Rory's classmates we're introduced to is early 2000s heartthrob Chad Michael Murray as Tristan. As a potential love interest for Rory, though, don't get too excited, he's not sticking around, and also he's a bit of a prick.
You know, I could loan you my notes if that would help.
Really? That'd be great.
How great?
I don't know.
Bye, Mary.
It's Rory.
Back at the Independence Inn, we're introduced to yet another character, Jackson, played by Jackson Douglas. Okay, that makes things easier for me.
They're smaller than the last batch.
No, they're not. No, be sure to check them all. That's it. Give every last one of them a nice good squeeze. You wouldn't want to actually leave me one that I could sell somebody else.
The local produce man and soon-to-be Suki's romantic partner. I'll give Gilmore Girls something. While the relationships of our two leads tend to go very up and down, with all that drama put in place to keep people interested, the relationships of the side characters help to balance things out by being mostly positive and played for laughs. As for Lorelai, after her embarrassing ordeal in the morning, she is continuously harassed by Emily, making it clear how much she plans to be involved in her daughter's life from now on, whether she likes it or not.
Mom, you're not buying Rory a car.
Why not? She's a smart girl. She's responsible.
She'll be taking the bus.
I know. I hate that she takes the bus. Drug dealers take the bus.
And it's clear that she doesn't. While Emily does seem to be very charitable, offering to buy school supplies for Rory and updating their home internet, so Lorelai's dismissal seems a bit ungrateful. A major part of her character is her strong desire to be independent, not to mention the hidden motive behind Emily's generosity. It's clear that she wants to use this to demonstrate to Lorelai how much she can't survive on her own, something that Lorelai wishes that her parents would understand and respect, which they don't. This is a consistent arc for Lorelai and her parents, their own values and lifestyles clashing and preventing them from getting on. Returning to work, Lorelai is reunited with the dad from Chilton.
Someone needs to talk with you.
That's not my mother, is it?
It's possible.
It's possible.
There's a resemblance.
His attempts to ask her out on a date sadly fall flat.
I was also wondering if maybe I could take you out to dinner sometime.
You're a Chilton dad.
Ooh, that sounds bad.
Not bad, just tricky. You know, Rory just started there, and I think I should let her fall in with the bad crowd before I start hooking up with the PTA.
Well, I'm not on the PTA.
Oh, see, there you go. I can't date anybody not in the PTA.
Which makes sense, though could be worse. At least it wasn't one of her teachers. Yet. And it's such a shame. They had such a strong connection. I mean, they barely know each other, and his sole motivation for seeking a relationship with her is because she's young, attractive, and was barely dressed when they first met. Ultimately, the purpose of this little subplot in this episode is revealed when she takes her trip to Luke's.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No lectures?
My blood sugar's low. I'll eat an apple and get back to you.
God, this has been one hectic, bizarro day for me.
Yeah?
This father from Chilton, he drove out to the inn all the way from Hartford just to ask me out.
Really? You going?
No. And the whole thing just seemed a little weird.
Oh, good.
Good?
As I said in the previous video, Luke doesn't really have that much to do in the early episodes, as he was a very last-minute addition to the show. However, this scene does highlight a potential role he could have in this series, as a possible romantic interest for Lorelai. Later on, we'll see Lorelai and Rory discuss the possibility of the two of them dating.
Hey, what do you think of Luke?
But Rory informs her the dangers of two main characters dating in a show like this. So initially, the two of them laugh it off for the time being. But it's certainly an idea that's not forgotten. So let's backtrack to earlier in the episode with Rory at Chilton. And if things weren't bad enough already, Rory accidentally ends up making things worse. She does her best to try and smooth things over, but Paris is having none of it, making it quite clear to Rory that the two of them aren't going to be getting on anytime soon. In regards to the Gilmores having their Wi-Fi updated, this situation forces Lorelai to run home and introduce us to even more major characters in the show. Babette, Lorelai's larger-than-life neighbour, and her husband Maury.
But I wouldn't trust these boys. Gnome kicking says a lot about a man's character.
Yes, well, I'm gonna go take care of this. Thanks.
Most importantly, we have Kirk, played by the brother of James Gunn, Sean.
I'm Mick.
Hi, Mick.
Or Mick. Okay, it's time to address one of Gilmore Girls' more noticeable continuity errors. While the show does a pretty good job with continuity and long-running story arcs, there are a few slip-ups, like the set designs I mentioned in the previous episode. Now, actors playing other characters isn't unheard of, especially in this show. For instance, Alex Borstein, who plays
Drella, please, a little softer.
Hey, do I look like I got Panasonic stamped on my ass?
would later come back as a new character in Series 3. However, the difference in this case is her characters were very different from each other, so it wouldn't be too obvious that they were played by the same actor. Not to mention there was a big gap of time between the two of them. In the case of Sean Gunn's characters, however, he goes from being Mick, the disinterested delivery man, who nobody knows, to Kirk, the town weirdo who's lived in Stars Hollow his whole life, within a couple of episodes of each other. People have tried to come up with different theories to explain this issue. A Year in the Life, or Season 8, even makes reference to this. Me? I think he's like Adam from Torchwood, an alien integrating himself into the lives of Stars Hollow's residents. Except in his case he's just not very bright. Regardless of this, Lorelai is getting fed up with her mother's interference, finally confronting her, telling her how things are really going to go between the two of them.
I canceled the order, and it's not happening.
But Rory needs the internet for her school.
We have the internet.
Well, this is faster.
Well, we like our internet slow, okay? Also, there will be no cars, no parking spaces, and all the uniforms will be supplied by me, the mother. That's final. There will be no discussion.
You're being stubborn as usual.
No, Mom, I'm not being stubborn as usual. I'm being me. I appreciate what you have done for Rory in paying for her school, but she is my daughter, and I decide how we live, not you.
So after all that, this long, stressful day comes to an end as the two Lorelais reunite.
So this whole plaid skirt thing, my idea?
My day sucked, too.
Kept calling me Mary. You're kidding me. Wow, I can't believe they still say that.
Mary, like Virgin Mary. It means they think you look like a goody-goody.
You're kidding.
No.
Not necessarily, there was another significant Mary in the Bible. Still probably an insult regardless, but you don't jump to conclusions. And so ends the Lorelai's first day at Chilton. This was another solid episode. After the pilot established our main group of characters, episode 2 continues by expanding the cast even further. However, characters like Paris and Kirk, or Mick at this point, haven't really reached their full development yet, evolving as the show goes on. Although it does give further development to our main group of characters, showing Lorelai's pride as well as planting the idea of Luke and Lorelai being a couple. Some elements of this episode are strange to see when you revisit it once you've watched later episodes. For instance, I'm honestly surprised they didn't redub Mick's name once they decided the character would be called Kirk less than 3 episodes later. But that's just a nitpick, I suppose. That's all for now. Thank you all for watching. Please be sure to like and comment below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel for more content. Follow me on social media, links above, and I'll see you next time for another Gilmore Girls review.
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me where we can find the best antiques?
At your house, I guess.